At 35, Clara stood at the edge of a life she no longer recognized. After 7 years of marriage and countless failed attempts to start a family, her world crumbled. One morning, her husband was gone, leaving only a scrap of paper on the kitchen counter. "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry." No goodbye, no conversation, just silence where love once lived. Clara read the note over and over, as if her will could rewrite the words, but they stayed the same and the emptiness grew heavier. Alone, divorced, and childless, she faced a storm of shame, heartbreak, and fading dreams. She had always wanted to be a mother more than anything. Now she wondered who she was without him, without the family she'd imagined.
Clara refused to let pain define her. One quiet afternoon, while volunteering at a local children's shelter, she met 5 brothers who changed everything. All under 10, they wore mismatched clothes and carried the weight of loss in their eyes. Their parents had died in a tragic fire, leaving them orphaned and unwanted. Relatives had turned them away, unwilling to take on 5 children at once. A social worker called them a package deal no one wanted to claim. But Clara saw more than their scars. She saw their fear, their resilience, and a familiar ache for belonging. That night, she couldn't sleep. Their faces haunted her, stirring memories of her own unfulfilled longing to be a mother. This wasn't the perfect life she'd planned, but it was a chance to give love, raw, real, and unfiltered. With little money, a modest home, and no partner to share the load, Clara made a choice. She opened her heart and her home to all 5 boys.
The journey began with Michael, the eldest, quiet but fiercely protective. Then came Daniel, the thoughtful one, always watching the world with curious eyes. The twins, Liam and Lucas, followed, a whirlwind of mischief with smiles that could light up the darkest days. Finally, there was Noah, the youngest, barely 5, with cheeks so soft they begged to be pinched. Life with them was chaos. Bills piled up, groceries stretched thin, and sleepless nights became routine. There were tantrums, broken dishes, scraped knees, and endless doctor visits. The teenage years brought storms of attitude, raised voices, and doors slammed louder than thunder. Yet, amid the mess, something beautiful grew. They danced barefoot in the rain, sang gospel hymns on Sundays, and shared stories over plates of homemade mac and cheese. Clara taught them to tie their shoes, say sorry, cook a meal, and, above all, love fiercely. She wasn't perfect. Some days she cried alone in the bathroom, overwhelmed and uncertain, but she never gave up.
As the years passed, the boys became men, each carving his own path. Michael earned a scholarship and became a respected architect, known for his calm leadership. Daniel launched a tech startup, creating apps that connected communities. Liam and Lucas turned their knack for style into a thriving fashion brand, dressing everyone from local heroes to Hollywood stars. Noah, with a voice that could move mountains, became a rising singer, his songs weaving tales of struggle and hope. They traveled the world, but always returned to Clara for holidays, birthdays, and family dinners. She asked for nothing in return. Seeing them thrive was her greatest reward. Time etched lines on her face and gray in her hair, but her spirit burned bright. Her hands, worn from years of cooking and caring, told the story of a life poured out for others.
On Clara's 60th birthday, the house buzzed with the familiar chaos of her boys, now men, laughing and teasing like they were kids again. As she sipped coffee on her creaky porch swing, Michael approached, holding something wrapped in soft cloth. "Mom," he said, "we have something for you." The others gathered close, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. He unveiled a large silver key tied with a ribbon. Clara's breath caught. "What's this?" she whispered. Daniel grinned. "It's yours." Liam and Lucas stepped aside, revealing a van parked out front. Inside were photos of a stunning new home. Bright, spacious, with wide windows and a garden bursting with roses, her favorite flower.
"We built it together," Noah said, kneeling beside her. "For you, for us, for our family." Tears streamed down Clara's face. She couldn't speak. Every sacrifice, every late night, every prayer had led to this moment. "You don't need to say anything," Michael said. "We remember everything. Every meal you stretched, every hug, every time you believed in us when no one else did."
Weeks later, as Clara settled into her new home, the surprises continued. One evening, Michael sat beside her on the porch as the sky turned gold. "Mom, we have one more thing," he said. Daniel handed her a folder, thick with papers. Inside was a trust fund, signed and sealed, funded by all 5 brothers. It was enough to cover her care, her dreams, even a small business if she wanted. "You gave us everything," Lucas said. "Now it's our turn to make sure you're okay." Clara's heart swelled with a peace she'd never known. This wasn't the life she'd planned, a husband, biological children, a picture-perfect family. Instead, she'd been given 5 boys who needed her, and through them, she'd found herself.
Months later, the brothers made another bold move. They planned a massive wedding. Not 1, but 5. 5 grooms, 5 brides, one unforgettable day. It wasn't just a celebration of their love, but a tribute to the woman who taught them what love means. The event was the talk of the town. 5 sharp suits, 5 radiant brides, and music that danced through the air. Clara sat in the front row, dressed in sapphire blue, her heart full. The officiant began not with the couples, but with her. "Before we honor these men, let's celebrate the woman who raised them, alone, strong, and full of grace." The crowd rose, their applause echoing like a song. Strangers called her a hero, a queen. Her story spread, inspiring articles, book offers, and community recognition. But Clara didn't care about fame. Her joy was in the family she'd built. Now, every Sunday, Clara's home hums with life. Her sons, their wives, and a new generation of children who call her Grandma Clara. The house, once quiet, is alive with spilled juice, toy cars, and laughter. Neighbors call her Mother of Legends. Clara calls herself grateful. She didn't get the life she prayed for. She got something greater. She didn't just raise 5 boys. She raised 5 pillars of strength. Her story shows that purpose can bloom in the ashes of broken dreams. Clara wasn't chosen by fate, but her choice to love when no one else would changed everything. Love doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It grows in the mess, the struggle, the quiet sacrifices. And what we give freely, without expectation, comes back in ways we could never imagine.